Hello and welcome to Danielle Sylvester's second weather briefing. First, we will discuss the current conditions when this weather briefing was recorded. First up is surface analysis charts. As we can see, moving into North Dakota is occluded front. It is cold and warm front. Headed towards North Dakota, and then throughout the United States we can see more occluded fronts and high and low pressure systems. Moving on to weather depiction charts. The circles represent cloud cover, so there isn't much cloud cover at all in North Dakota, southern Wisconsin, and Michigan. A little bit of a different story. That is full overcast there, and then in southern Nebraska and northern Kansas we can see that the weather is 1,500 feet and visibility is 3 to 5 miles. That's depicted by the blue circle there, and then the satellite visible chart shows cloud cover, so not much cloud cover in North Dakota for more local application, and then where we saw that overcast in Wisconsin and Michigan, we can show here that there are in fact clouds. Getting a different image of the infrared, we can see that cover as well, and then also with the water vapor, that satellite image is displayed. Moving on to the radar aspect, as we can see, this is for a little later on when more rain in the United States is developing. There's a tiny line there of rain, and then in Arizona, Utah, it looks like they will get some rainfall there. Moving on to the radar summary chart, those green triangles represent that hail will be falling, and then also we can see with this radar summary chart the intensity of the storms. So we can see that it's mostly blue, which will display light storm, and then parts of it will be green that will show light to moderate rainfall. And then moving on to the SIGMETs, no SIGMETs here to discuss that involve lower high turbulence icing, but we do see one in the other category. For further information on those that do not pertain to flying in the U.S., you can go to 1-800-WX-BRIEF. Here we have the AirMets, quite a few up by North Dakota, headed to North Dakota. The red that we see on the west coast of California, and then headed looking at the southwestern part of the Midwest, and then up into Wisconsin. That red section there is showing IFR conditions. The pink that we see up by Maine, and then in the eastern part of the United States is mountain obscuration, and then the blue and the northern part of Utah and over in Wisconsin and Michigan, that would be icing, so you should watch for icing conditions there. The yellow that we do see present in North Dakota for local application is low-level turbulence. And you will notice throughout this weather briefing that turbulence is something you should watch out for if you decide to go flying today. So we can see that in Montana, and then into North Dakota is that low-level turbulence. The green is high-level turbulence, so more present in Montana and Wyoming. And then moving on to pilot reports, here we have the pink, blue, and green showing different things. Pink will be sky cover, So we see in Georgia and Florida a pretty good, decent amount of cloud cover. And once again, that green is the turbulence that we just talked about in that Wisconsin-Michigan area. It looks like it ranges from light all the way to moderate. And then blue, it looks like there could be some light icing in that area as well. Moving away from the pilot reports into the freezing levels, we can see that that is, it tracked up into North Dakota. So just a difference in freezing levels there. And then this is the Grand Forks METAR. And as you can see, it is decoded. So it gives you the ceiling, clouds, the winds and wind direction. For the current weather that we use, that's why we use a METAR to get current weather. Our forecast conditions for low-level prognostics, as you can see again that yellow turbulence in North Dakota, so we can see that turbulence is a factor today. And then that blue squiggly line as discussed before, squiggly circle actually, it's just that the visibility or the cloud height is 1,000 to 500, visibility 3 to 5 miles. And then here we have the high level prognostic from flight levels 25,000, pardon me, to 63,000. Typically, only commercial aviation will fly that high. But as you can see, it is present over North Dakota. Here's forecast icing. As you can see, I picked altitude of 5,000. That's typically what general aviation would fly at if they're not going too far. So, for example, UND students. And it doesn't look like there's too much of that going on. The turbulence, that is a bit of a different story. I picked 5,000 again. And we can see that that is present in the western part of North Dakota. And then by the color of it, we can see that it is light to moderate turbulence there. And down on the southern coast of the United States, parts yellow that are more intense than the moderate we are seeing in North Dakota. Moving away from that, and then the final thing I would like to touch on is the Aviation Weather Watch, because it is a very local application as it is only seen majorly in North Dakota, which means severe thunderstorms. So we can look for those a bit later on as they develop. So that's something we need to watch out for, those severe thunderstorms depicted by that yellow box in North Dakota. For any further information, you would want to reference 1-800-WX Brief for updated weather or more in-depth. Thanks for listening.